What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all already know what to do. Hit that like button. Don't come in here if you haven't hit that like button, man. Because we at it again with these silly stories, man. Yeah, we at it again with these silly stories, man. Today, guess what? Before I get started, man, give a big shout out to a bad motherfucker that used to play basketball with me, man, named Black. Black was a monster, man. Black was a monster on the basketball court, man. And that's for real. So, for anybody that don't know how prison sports go, man, and I only played a couple of prison sports, man, and one of them was basketball. Was I good at it? I like to think so, man. You know, everybody was good at some once upon a time, when they played sports, man, and I just happened to be good at basketball, right? But Black was a motherfucker. You hear me? I mean, he could play every sport that you want to name, right? Every sport that you want to name. And basketball was one of them. And I used to ask him all the time, God damn, man, why you didn't go to the motherfucking league, man? You can shoot with either hand. You can dunk the ball. You had handles. You was a bad motherfucker. And how I know he was bad, because every time I played against him, he would score 30 and better. So that meant one thing. He's a bad motherfucker, or I was a sorry motherfucker. Y'all do the bad. So anyway, man, let me just walk y'all through how this team shit go, right? How this team shit go, man. We would post a piece of paper on the rec yard, man. We'll try to keep it fair as possible, man. Sometimes shit fair ain't fair when you're inside the walls, man. It's just some people got the plug and some people don't, man. And in sports, and especially you're trying to play team sports, if you ain't got the plug, your ass going out first round, right? It just so happened, man, that, me, a black team had the plug, man, to where we had the majority of the best players on the unit, right? But what they didn't never let happen, they didn't never let me and Black be on the same team. Why? Because he was an offensive monster and I was a defensive specialist, right? And the reason why I say defensive specialist, because every time I used to take off down the motherfucking court, I could be 2 feet away from the motherfucking rim. Everything's pretty until I get to the goal. And when I try to lay that motherfucker up, somehow I make it way to the other side, right? So, I learned to play defense, man. And that was my game, right? But me, Black, his team, we would always meet up in the, in the finals, right? We'd always meet up in the finals. And let me walk you through this thing. So you had about 8 or 9 teams, right? Some teams was outside, some teams was inside, right? And just so happened, our team was on the inside, but we was on different buildings. But what used to happen was this, and it was pretty loud to me. If your status was right, you would be able to go from one building to the next. And that's what made it all so good. And another thing made it good is that if your team make it to certain finals, which was, advance to the playoffs, it's the same thing like they got set up on the TV, right? And you already know that sports bring out who? Women. So you're going to have all the COs on the rec yard, right? Men and women. But we really didn't care too much about the men because they're going to be hated. But when the women come out, oh, that's when the motherfucker really try to do their thing, especially from an offensive standpoint, especially if you can dunk that joint, it's going down, right? So anyway, like I said, man, what I used to get my name off for was because I like to steal the ball. I love stealing that motherfucker, taking it to the other end. But my only problem was when I get to the rack, try to lay that motherfucker up and go on the other side. So I had to work on that, right? So anyway, man, back to Black, man. Black was a bad motherfucker, man. Sometimes when I think back on all them games that we had down there down in that prison, man, I still have nightmares of this man, man. Cause he used to drop that motherfucker off with the right hand, or he could drop it off with the left hand. And then he had some type of like a hop step where he up and that motherfucker, boom, and it's over with, right? Bad motherfucker, right? And we could never stop him. I drew up every defense in the world, man, half court press, motherfucking me, double him up on the inbound, all this shit, man. But he would always get out of the jam that we have him in, right? And for whatever reason it was, man, he can shoot that motherfucking three ball, right? He can shoot that three ball, right? Like I said, I can remember like it was yesterday, man. Game 5. This is the first round, game 5, right? We up. I just know we finna beat his ass. We up. That was my main objective, was to beat his ass every time we run into him, right? Game 5, we up. And always preaching on the sideline, man, whatever you do, man, do not let Black bring that basketball the distance of the floor. Because if he brings the distance of the floor, it's over with. You're going to do one or two things. He either going to make that shot or you're going to foul it. Don't want to foul it, because guess what? Free throw shooting motherfucker. He can shoot that motherfucker with his eyes closed, man. Shoot that motherfucker with his eyes closed, right? And like I say, man, you got to give credit where credit is due, man. The baddest offensive man on the unit, right? Okay, so anyway, we had a bad motherfucker on our team out of Fort Worth, right? Named Baby D. Raw. Shoot with any hand, right? He was a bad motherfucker. He could shoot with any hand. So that was supposed to be an equalizer, right? So some way, somehow, man, Baby D fuck around and get drafted to another team, right? So he get drafted to another team. And when he got drafted to another team, so they left me and 4 more other people. You got 8 people on the squad, right? So now we sitting out here watching Baby D and Black go at it. I mean, it's like watching a motherfucking NBA game, man. The games used to be so intense, right? The games used to be so intense, man. Motherfucker be like, damn, just know these boys supposed to go somewhere. Just so happen, man, we commit a felony, so we see it. We cuffed and stuff, right? So anyway, like I say, they going at it, man. They going at it. But we always knew one thing. If fucking Black had that ball in his hand and his time on that clock, he gonna get to that rack. He gonna get to that rack one way or another. Like I say, ain't no 2 things gonna stop him. Because he very, very seldom miss. If you foul him, he going to the free throw line. And when he go to the free throw line, it's lights out. He gonna make the free throw. He gonna make that motherfucker. So anyway, they going at it, man. They going at it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we looking across the way at this motherfucking cardboard ass motherfucking scope board. So the scope board, right? The scope board. This is how you keep the scope. The scope board is made out of cardboard, right? And it's got numbers on it where you flip the motherfucker over and all this sort of shit, right? That's the scope board. So we watching the scope board and the scope keeper, right? And the scope keeper is never gonna be from nobody else's building. Never gonna be from nobody else's building. It's gonna always be from a different building, because we ain't want no motherfucking misunderstanding fucking with that scope board. Because I seen a bunch of motherfuckers get their ass whooped behind that scope board because they were trying to give whoever they was going for the ups. And just somehow, at the end of the game, these motherfuckers up by 2 or 3 points. Then you got to go all back through it with the scope keeper and go through all that paperwork to find out who won the game. But by that time, shit, they called a fight on the rec yard because the scope keeper done got his ass smashed. So they came up with the idea of the scope keeper, the referees, and the motherfucker that keeping the time clock can never be from the same building of the teams playing, right? So I just wanted to walk y'all through that, man, because I want y'all to be in the same mind frame that I'm in doing this basketball thing, right? So anyway, back to the story right here, man. You got Black and Baby D, game 5. Game 5, bad motherfucker, right? Here come Black, just like we knew. Down the floor, pass it off, pass it back to Black. Once you get to that half court, if you don't double team, game over, right? And not on that, and he was a lucky motherfucker, man, because I swear he used to shoot some shit, man, you know what's going in. And with that rubber ball, you got to shoot a high arcing shot, and that motherfucker will drop straight in the goal, right? Because it's got the double band rim where that motherfucker gonna bounce and it's gonna pop back out, right? So anyway, here come Black down the floor, across the half court line, man. Boom, 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 and shoot that mother from down there from the stripe, half court, man. Tell me why that motherfucker hit none but net, number bottom, right? They out of there. You know, they lose game 5, right? So we play game 5, we win. So now we got to match up against motherfucking Black. We got to match up against Black and his motherfucking team, right? So we go out there, man, a couple of days later, you know, we go out there a couple of days later, and they call it, you know, we playing on neutral ground. We ain't playing on neither one of our builders, right? Because it's the same shit. You got to travel. It's, you know, this ride with me now. Ride with me. That's the same setup as fucking NBA. You have to travel to another building, but we ain't traveling. We walking. But when you're in prison, all that shit is, you put yourself in the player's position that's getting paid, right? So you're gonna play like you got a multi-million-dollar contract. Only thing you got on the line is a blue motherfucking ribbon, right? But at the same time, you want that motherfucking ribbon because that's some high side shit. And everybody in prison love to a high side. I don't care what it's in, man. You on high side and you want to be competitive. I don't give a damn if it's push-ups or pull-ups, jumping jacks, jumping ropes. It don't matter what it is. A man in prison is going to be competitive, right? Especially when you're in these sports, right? And not only that, you don't want to let a motherfucker on the side down because they doing some betting over there, right? And like I say, but everybody knew for a fact that Black was the baddest motherfucker on the unit. Hands down, baddest motherfucker on the unit, right? Okay, so now, so we all, you know we finna play Black now, man. So we go out there, suit up, you know what I'm saying? We go out there and suit up, and what I mean by suit up, man, this shit is so much of a trip, right? To where, you know, you got to, everything, ain't no motherfucking colors. The only time where it was colors is when you in the game. They might give you one of them old practice ass motherfucking jerseys, like old net jersey where you put over your t-shirt. It's one red and it's one blue, right? That's how you distinguish the colors, you know what I'm saying? And not only that, you know, motherfuckers that was gang affiliated, man, they swear to God all that shit was chose for them, right? But that was just some psychological shit they was playing in their motherfucking mind. This shit wasn't chose for them. It was chose for whoever made it to the motherfucking meet tournament, right? So anyway, we finna get ready to suit up against them, man. So we gotta travel, man. We gotta travel from one building to the next, man. I wish y'all could have saw that shit. Motherfucker got their glasses on, got their towels around their neck, and you know, all it ain't no penitentiary shit, man. You know, it ain't no penitentiary shit. Real talk, man. And when you get there, man, the same thing apply, man. Guess what that is? Penitentiary rules are in effect, man. Penitentiary rules are in effect. When you get on this building, man, guess what? Respect, and you're gonna get respect. Because if you disrespect, you already know what's coming off of that, right? And sometimes the games get heated, right? The games get heated. So anyway, we gotta come up with a way to stop motherfucking Black, man. We gotta come up with a way to stop Black, man, because we don't, we out of there, right? So anyway, man, this is what we do to stop Black, man. And in prison, guess what? by any means necessary. By any means necessary, because look, you couldn't stop this man. You couldn't stop him. Because they got a double pole outside on the rick yard, right? He go to the motherfucking goal, motherfuckers bump him, he hit the pole, boom, get back up. On this end, they got a motherfucking fence all the way across. I done seen motherfuckers mauling. You know what I'm saying? And that seemed like that just gave him more energy. He still get back up, you know what I'm saying? And be crunk, man. Motherfucker had motherfucking calves this high, this big like this, man. This big, man. Yeah. And like I said, the motherfucker can dribble with both hands, can shoot with both hands, and he can dunk on your ass off the motherfucking dribble. But you gotta remember, we playing penitentiary basketball, man. Very seldom you see motherfuckers come through there that has a motherfucking skill set to where he can just take over the whole motherfucking unit and everybody calling his name, right? And you know, some motherfuckers didn't take too kind of that, man. You know, they set out to hurt his ass. Some motherfuckers was really trying to hurt him. I'm talking about shit, send his ass to the motherfucking John Cellie. I'm surprised it never happened, right? Stay with me now. But we found the ultimate weapon to stop black ass. We found the ultimate weapon to stop his ass, right? So anyway, and not only that, Black was a weightlifter. So I used to see him on the rick yard all the time, right? I used to see him on the rick yard all the time. And not only that, he worked in the kitchen with us, right? He worked in the kitchen with us, right? Once again, we finna play them that night in the playoffs, right? We played them that night in the playoffs. So boom. But it's important that you win game one. Game one gonna bring motivation to you, the team, and you know, whoever else going for you, right? Especially gonna bring motivation to the team. And he wasn't used to losing, Black wasn't, because you might take him, you know, to game 4 or whatever. He gonna find a way to win, man, because his skill set allowed him to do a lot of shit, right? So anyway, we had the ultimate motherfucking black stopper. Yeah. And guess what they was called? Shit pills. Shit pills. Yeah. They had some little white pills like this, and they give your ass when you constipated. But if you take them on that coffee, your ass ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Because everywhere you move, you're gonna have to shit, right? So anyway, we found the perfect time to drop him on his ass, and that was at work. So now we get out of work at 2:00, right? So we have to play at motherfucking 6:00 that night. We got to play at 6:00, right? So anyway, we dropped the motherfucking shit pills on him at work in the coffee, because he loved motherfucking coffee. Everybody in prison love black coffee. Everybody love coffee. I don't give a fuck what time. It can be 100 degrees outside. Motherfucker gonna be drinking coffee, drinking coffee, drinking coffee. So anyway, we all sitting at the motherfucking chow hall table, right? We all sitting at the chow hall table. It's me, about 3 or 4 of my teammates, and some of his teammates too, right? But we got the picture of coffee. So we got the picture of coffee. And when you drink coffee, you know, you just pull the motherfucker up. Ain't nobody hating on nobody, but at the same time, guess what? We still trying to win. So we come up with the motherfucking black stopper with the shit pills, right? So we grind the motherfucking shit pills up real fine, stick the motherfuckers in a piece of toilet tissue like this here, and drop that ball in that motherfucker. By the time they hit the coffee, all that shit dissolved. You ain't gonna even taste it. And if you ever been motherfucking me in the can before, you know what a shit pill will do to you. It'll have your motherfucking drawers brown as hell, right? So anyway, we dropped that on them. So, you know, we don't, you know, and when you're in there, ain't no telling how much coffee you're gonna drink. Ain't no limit on it, because they keep the motherfucker over there full, right? So anyway, we just drinking coffee, man. We just riding, doing our normal penitentiary shit, man. You know, it ain't nothing unusual for you to catch a group of motherfuckers talking at a motherfucking table, right? Ain't no animosity or none of that shit. Everybody's, you know, it's love at the table. But still, it's a game tonight. And when a motherfucker get on that court, You leave that friendship shit off the court until after the game, right? And that's just the way that was, right? On the court, penitentiary rules always in effect, man. It's all about team friendship when you get off the floor, right? So anyway, we drop the motherfuckers on black. We show up at the game. Everybody got there, me swagged out, tie around your neck. And at least we thought we were swagged out. We were swagged out the way we could be, because we didn't have all that extra shit like they had in the free world, right? But we got damn we looked at what they did and tried to emulate the shit, but it was hard to do, man, when everybody dressed in white. So anyway, man, so we show up on the floor, everybody doing layups and all this old fancy shit. You had a bunch of motherfuckers dunking, because like I said, you had some motherfuckers that could ball. And he was one of them, the best, right? So now he show up, he doing this thing, whatever, behind the backpack, layup, all those fast ass dribble, shooting the jumper, all that shit, right? So anyway, tip off, right? It's tip off time. So now we hooping, you know what I'm saying? So everybody was saying, God damn, the motherfucking pills ain't doing shit to this boy, man. They ain't doing shit. Okay. That's what we thought. Motherfucking black go up for a motherfucking layup and get fouled real hard. When he come down, whole motherfucking me back blew out. And no, I know you ain't got nothing but your white shorts on. Man, this man had shit from all the way from down his legs to his socks, all that shit, right? It was so much motherfucking me shit on the motherfucking court. Motherfucker was walking off the court, man. Like, God damn, my nigga. So anyway, man, so he took out running like Usain Bolt to the goddamn building, right? But he can't get in the building because the door locked. So he got to beat the door down. So they come, what's going on? What's going on? They said, man, look, I need to go in, man. I just used the bathroom on myself, right? Nah, your shit like a faucet. It's running and it can't be cut off. So we knew one thing. He wouldn't be back in the game, not tonight. So we was gonna be up in game 1, right? So anyway, man, long story short, man, he didn't return to the game. We win game 1, right? That motherfucker go all the way to the wire. And he do what the fuck he always do. Beat us with a motherfucking jumper. But the moral of the story, to win the game, a motherfucker do whatever it takes by any means necessary. And in this case, we came up with the black stopper for game 1. And that was the equalizer, the shit pill. Remember to hit that like and that subscribe button, man. And give me a big thumbs up, man. And we'll continue these Cellie stories, man. Salute. OG Hollywood.